Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, we bring you the top 50 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. Our top focus comes in from West Asia. Israel and Hezbollah escalated their cross-border attacks over the weekend. Israeli forces struck hundreds of Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon, killing key Hezbollah commander. The Israeli forces said over 150 projectiles were fired from Lebanon. Hezbollah launched a rocket attack on northern Israel during the wee hours of Sunday. The attack triggered air raid sirens and led to closure of schools and offices. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel delivered unexpected blows to Hezbollah. The remarks were made amidst intensifying cross-border strikes over the weekend. On the other hand, Hezbollah's deputy chief Naim Qassem said the group is entering a new phase in its fight against Israel. According to Ukrainian officials, Russian airstrikes on the southeastern city of Zaporizhia injured at least 16, including a 15-year-old boy. The strikes allegedly damaged 13 residential buildings, educational institutions and vehicles. Zaporizhia's governor said Russia carried out 363 air and ground strikes on the region in a day's time. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is on a US visit. He will present Ukraine's victory plan outlining the country's bid to end the ongoing war with Russia. The Ukrainian president will present the plan to the US President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Zelensky started his US trip with a visit to an artillery shelling factory in Pennsylvania yesterday. He is also attending in the UNGA sessions in New York. Big updates coming in from the US. The summit of the future of the UNGA started in New York yesterday. The two-day summit is being attended by leaders from all across the globe. The UNGA adopted a pact for the future yesterday. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres described the pact as a landmark agreement for a step towards more effective, inclusive, networked, multilateral world. The pact also includes an annex on working towards a responsible and sustainable digital future. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to address the summit of the future of the UNGA today. Yesterday, he convened a meeting with the top US CEOs in New York during his three-day visit. The roundtable talks focused on sectors like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and semiconductor technologies. The CEOs of Google, Nvidia, Adobe, and IBM were in attendance, among others. The executive officers of US-based companies have expressed strong interest in investing in India. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended an event with the Indian community in the US. He addressed tens of thousands of Indian Americans at the Nassau Coliseum in New York. PM Modi redefined Indian American spirit during the event called Modi and US. He also announced the opening of 2 Indian consulates in the US. The US government has handed over 297 stolen and trafficked antiques to India. The artifacts were returned amidst PM Modi's ongoing US visit. The antiques belong to a period spanning from 2000 BCE to 1900 CE. The symbolic handover took place at the US President Joe Biden's home in Delaware. The US has returned a total of 578 Indian artifacts since 2014. Moving to South Asia, Anura Dissanayake has taken oath as the 9th executive president of Sri Lanka. According to Lankan Election Commission, he won the September 21 election with 42.31% votes. Dissanayake was in the presidential race as National People's Power Alliance's candidate. The Marxist leader has vowed to reform governance in the island nation reeling under severe economic crisis. A convoy of nearly a dozen foreign diplomats visiting northwest Pakistan's Swat Valley came under attack. The bomb hit the convoy, killing a police officer. Another 4 police officers were left wounded. A curfew has been imposed in the area. No one has so far claimed responsibility for the attack. At least 51 people were killed and 20 were left injured after a blast in coal mine in Iran. The blast in 2 blocks of the Tabas coal mine was caused by methane gas leak. The explosion is one of the deadliest accidents in Iran in recent years. President Masoud Pezeshkian has ordered a probe into the incident. In the US, a shooting outside an Alabama nightclub killed 4 people. The incident left 18 others injured. According to police, multiple shots were fired into a group of people in Birmingham. A manhunt for the suspect is underway. In Europe, a 2-story building near Naples in Italy collapsed after an explosion. The building collapse killed 2 children and their grandmother yesterday. The explosion was likely caused by a gas leak. Search efforts continue for the missing. In climate news, in Japan's Ishikawa prefecture, at least 6 people died due to severe flooding, while the city of Wajima received more than 21 inches of rainfall over the weekend. The floods prompted evacuation in central Japan's Noto region. The heavy rainfall caused blackouts for more than 6,000 households. In the war-torn Gaza Strip, after the first rain of the fall season, displaced Palestinians were seen struggling with heavy flooding. People could be seen navigating through ankle-deep water in the camps. People were spotted trying to build sand barriers to prevent water from entering their temporary homes. Hungary's capital city of Budapest continues to struggle with floods. This is after the water levels of the Danube River rose. This Margaret Island, which is a recreational area with hotels and restaurants, has been now shut. Budapest is now preparing for waters to reach near record levels. In central Argentina, firefighters were trying to put out fires raging in province of Cordoba over the weekend. People in the towns of Los Cocos and Capilla del Monte had to evacuate their houses as the flames reached their properties. Officials say strong winds, high temperature and low humidity intensified the fire. Ecuador has decided to cut power for 9 hours every day amid the historic drought that the nation is going through. The electricity will be suspended in 9 out of the nation's 24 provinces at night. These areas are on red alert as a drought has affected the water levels of its hydroelectric plants. From Monday to Thursday, an 8-hour night power will be cut and implemented all across the nation. In Brazil's Sao Paulo city, protesters marched to call for measures to tackle climate change. They also criticized the farming industry in the country. Protesters said that the goal of reaching sustainable development is at risk. Over the weekend, protesters also marched in Rio de Janeiro's warning people about the climate crisis and to mobilize youngsters to call for more action. In the US, the governor of California has expanded the ban on plastic grocery bags. The new law bans plastic bags completely. This law will come into effect in January 2026. Earlier, people were allowed to use the thicker bags that were said to be reusable. On to business and tech news now. Indian stock market kicked off trading session on a record high today. Sensex rose over 0.3%, surging past 84,800. Meanwhile, Nifty rose about 25,900. All sectors were trading in green, with banking stocks rising 2%. Indian stock market indices have peaked to a new high every day after the US Federal Reserve cut interest rates last week. Analysts say rate cut has given investors new optimism for a potential surge in foreign investment. US Vice President Kamala Harris reportedly plans to unveil a new economic plan. The Democratic presidential nominee is expected to reveal the plan as soon as next week. Reports say it will outline her efforts to help Americans build wealth with specific incentives for businesses. Harris has already promised voters financial incentives and tax breaks to buy homes and start new businesses. The US is reportedly planning to ban Chinese software and hardware used in autonomous vehicles. The US government will ban the import and sale of Chinese cars that use such technologies. It is expected to unveil the measures, citing national security concerns. Firms collect large amounts of user data to develop such technologies. The Biden administration is concerned that Chinese firms could use this data to manipulate US vehicles. Australia's competition watchdog has sued the country's two biggest grocery chains, Woolworths and Coles. The regulator accused these firms of jacking up prices on hundreds of products. Woolworths and Coles allegedly raised prices for the products and then offered discounts on them. The regulator said that even after discounts, the products were priced higher than their original cost. Australian real estate listing firm REA Group has made another offer to buy out British rival Rightmove. The Australian firm is offering over $8.1 billion to acquire Rightmove. REA Group has already made two offers for Rightmove. Both were rejected by the British firm. American automaker General Motors plans to lay off over 1,600 workers in the U.S. state of Kansas. The job cuts will start in November and will be completed in two phases. The move will affect only full-time and some temporary workers. Earlier this year, General Motors said that it would pause production at the Kansas plant. Thousands of hospitality workers went on strike in San Francisco yesterday. Workers from hotels like Hilton Union Square, Palace Hotel, Westin St. Francis, and the Grand Hyatt took part in the strike. Workers were demanding better wages and improved working conditions. They were also protesting against job cuts that happened during the COVID-19 pandemic. Workers say they are dealing with heavier workloads since the firms haven't hired new workers. Billionaire Elon Musk said that his space firm SpaceX plans to launch mission to Mars. He said that SpaceX will launch 5 uncrewed starships to Mars in the next 2 years. Musk added that if these missions are successful, SpaceX will launch manned spacecraft in 4 years. The billionaire added that if the uncrewed missions face challenges, the crewed mission can be postponed. American investment firm Apollo Global has reportedly proposed to invest $5 billion in chipmaker Intel. This comes as the chipmaker has been facing financial woes. Earlier, it was reported that San Diego-based Qualcomm had approached the Intel with a takeover offer. If the deal goes through, it could be one of the largest acquisitions in the history. Reports say chipmakers TSMC and Samsung are planning to set up factories in the UAE. The chipmakers have recently sent their executives to West Asian country. Reports say the projects could cost the firms more than $100 billion. This comes as the UAE aims to become a regional hub for the testing chips that power artificial intelligence. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. South Africa clinched a 7-wicket victory over Afghanistan in the last and the final game of the 3-match one-day international series. Afghanistan went into bat first and posted 169 in their 50 overs. South Africa reached 170 in 33 overs. Aiden Markram's unbeaten 69 runs helped the Proteas avoid a complete whitewash. The Afghans had already registered 2 wins to secure the series 2-1. Indians beat Bangladesh by a whopping 280 runs in the first test of the 3-match series. Rishabh Pant, who was playing his first test since 2022, scored a century in India's second innings. After India declared the innings at 287, Bangladesh had a mammoth task of chasing 515 for victory. India's Ravichandran Ashwin took 6 wickets while only giving away 88 runs to down Bangladesh at 234. Australia defeated England by 68 runs in the second one-day international match. England won the toss and elected to field first. Visitors Australia was restricted to 270 runs in 44.4 overs. England saw their chance of winning dwindling as their top order batters collapsed in front of Australia's pace attack. With the victory, Australia have now taken a 2-0 lead over England in the 5-match ODI series. In football, Manchester City's Erling Haaland netted his 100th goal for the club. This happened during Man City's Premier League match against Arsenal. He He scored the opening goal for the reigning Premier League champions, bringing his tally to 100. This goal helped Haaland equal Ronaldo's record as the fastest man to score 100 goals for a European club. Arsenal's Leandro Trossard received a red carpet for kicking the ball away in the match against Manchester City. He was sent off after a second yellow, leaving his Arsenal teammates and manager Mikel Arteta in shock. Arsenal led 2-1 in the match but were held to draw by a late Man City equaliser. The match ended 2-2 with Arsenal down to 10 men for the second half. In tennis, Team Europe clinched the 2024 Laver Cup by beating Team World's 13-11. Spain's Carlos Alcaraz played a major part in the victory. The four-time Grand Slam champion defeated his opponent from Team World Taylor Fritz in the decider. Overall, Alcaraz secured 8 out of 13 points Team Europe won in the tournament. Alina Rybakina withdrew from events in Beijing and Wuhan due to back injury. She started 2024 strong with titles in Brisbane, Abu Dhabi and Stuttgart but faced illness and injury setbacks. Earlier, Rybakina pulled out of the Paris Olympics and the US Opens. Rybakina said she is focused on recovering for the season finale in Riyadh. In Formula One, McLaren's Lando Norris secured a commanding win at the Singapore Grand Prix, closing in on his blue rival Max Verstappen's Drivers' Championship lead. Norris finished 20 seconds ahead of Verstappen, narrowing the gap to 52 points with 6 races left. Oscar Piastri finished third, increasing McLaren's lead at the top of constructors' standings. Red Bull's Max Verstappen hinted he might quit early if the F1's governing body keeps cracking down on his personality. He was slapped with sanctions for using a cuss word during a Singapore GP press conference. Verstappen was ordered to do public service for using a profane word to describe his car during the race. The FIA saw this as a violation of code of conduct. Fed up with the FIA's control, Verstappen said he might walk away from the sport. Team India edged its name in the history books by securing a double gold at the Chess Olympiad. The men's team defeated Slovenia in the final. Grandmasters D. Gukesh, Arjun Iragasi and R. Pragnanand were key to the Indian victory. The women's team capped off with 45 Chess Olympiad by adding another goal to India's name. D. Harika, Divya Deshmukh and Vantika Agrawal edged Azerbaijan in the final round. On to the world of showbiz now. Lapata Ladies has become India's official entry to the Oscars 2025. The Hindi language comedy drama has been directed by Kiran Rao. The story narrates a humorous tale on patriarchy. It is about two newlywed brides who get exchanged during their journey to their husband's house. The film beat 29 other films in the race. The tickets for the Coldplay concert in India were sold out within 30 minutes. Over 13 million people logged into the ticket booking app Book My Show on Sunday to buy just 150,000 tickets. Due to the high demand, the ticket selling even crashed before the sale began. The Grammy-winning band is scheduled to perform in Mumbai on January 18th and 19th next year. American DJ Khalid has announced collaboration with South Korean artists Mingyu, Woozi and Vernon. They are a part of the popular Korean band 17. Khalid took to social media and added a picture with Trio with a caption, "Bless up, stay tuned." 2025 will be a grand year for the music fans in India. After Diljit Dosanjh and Coldplay, Canadian rapper AP Dhillon has also announced a tour in India. He took to social media and stated that he will soon be coming home. The dates of his concerts are yet to be revealed. American rapper Lizzo has addressed the controversy related to her weight loss journey. She was accused of using the weight loss drug Ozempic. Lizzo took to social media to deny the allegations. The rapper also posted a few rude comments which targeted her weight loss journey. Beetlejuice remains on the top of the North American theatres for the third consecutive week. According to experts, the movie collected nearly $26 million. This brings the film's domestic tally to nearly $225 million, and globally it stands with a collection of nearly $329 million. The film is a dark comedy about a ghost spirit. The makers of The Red One released its trailer. The video shows Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson teaming up to find Santa Claus, who has been kidnapped. One scene also shows a toy store as a portal to the North Pole, from where Santa brings all the presents from the film. The film is scheduled to release on the 15th of November. Jennifer Aniston says she has doubts that she will ever make another sitcom after Friends. The actor revealed in a podcast that she might never have the same experience that she had with the Friends cast. She also called the schedule of Friends the best ever on the planet. Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds says that his parenting style has changed with time. He said he took a workshop on conflict resolution that changed his life. The actor revealed that he never yells at any of his 4 children. Reynolds' share 4 children were his wife, Blake Lively. And finally, comedian John Mulaney and actor Olivia Munn welcomed their second child. Munn took to social media and announced their daughter's birth. The couples opted for surrogacy and referred to the surrogate as a real-life angel. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.
It's over! He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost.